Hello, it's time for my next fake home movie about Arlington. This is The Trail. I went down Custis, circled around to WNOD, came back up on the Bluemont Trail just to see what was what. Had a few people out there. Traffic? Well, there was still a fair amount of traffic. This was mid-afternoon. Wouldn't call it rush hour, but I wouldn't call it deserted either. Down at the bottom, some of the picnic tables looked like you could use them. Some of the picnic tables were kind of piled up in a way that they weren't ready to be used. If you wanted to get across 4 Mile Run, well, some places were better than others. Some of the bridges are still in good shape. Quite a number of the bridges aren't even there anymore. Once I got down to the WNOD, I could see quite a few people out there getting some exercise. You'll notice they're maintaining a safe distance. I was happy to report that the tennis court restrooms were not only there, but more importantly, accessible. I was less than thrilled to note that the paper towel supply was another story. I suddenly noticed that tennis seems to be a good game to play if you want to maintain social distance. I mean, you've got this big net between yourself and your opponent. On the other hand, I would say that coughing or sneezing on the ball before you serve would be considered bad form. It was a good day to be a dog. A lot of dogs probably got a lot more walks than they usually get. And of course, we had the usual stop signs at various joints in the trail. Some people were too young to know enough to stop at them. There were other people who were clearly big enough and old enough to know better, but they didn't stop anyway. Still a good day for dogs. Not all of the trail is accessible. This was at the Bluemont and WNOD join. If you were across the barrier, you'd be guaranteed of social distance, but I don't know what's at the other end. You know the old saying, don't go there. Here's something you don't see very often up on the Bluemont Trail. The rocks without any kids playing on them. Very unusual. There's usually some kind of thing going. This is a fallen tree that seems to have been turned into a kind of playground equipment. Up by the Fields Park on George Mason Drive, there's another place of relief. And that's pretty much the way things looked on that particular trip, on that particular day.